02:11 a.m. local time, the Strait of Hormuz. In the pitch-black cockpit of an F-35C Lightning II, Lieutenant Commander Sarah Chen, call sign Reaper 1, sees something that shouldn't exist on her tactical display. A heat bloom the size of a city. 11 simultaneous launches from a fortified mountain west of Bandar Abbas. Velocity climbing past Mach 4, trajectory. Directly toward the U.S. Gerald R. Ford, time to impact. 90 seconds. What Terran doesn't know, and what they're about to learn the hard way, is that the U.S. Navy has been waiting for this exact moment for 6 years. The apocalyptic weapon is not coming from Iran. It's already in the air. The Strait of Hormuz, just 21 nautical miles wide at its narrowest point. 20% of the world's oil flows through this single choke point every single day. And tonight, May 14th, 2026, it has become the most dangerous body of water on planet Earth. Cutting through the dark waters, the U.S. Gerald R. Ford, a 100,000-ton nuclear-powered supercarrier, the most expensive warship ever built at over $13 billion. She is not alone. Surrounding her like steel wolves are 3 Arleigh Burke-class destroyers. Yes, Bainbridge. Yes, Truxtun. Yes, Cole, each carrying 96 vertical launch cells loaded with the most advanced air defense missiles ever fielded. Below the waves, lurking at 400 feet, the U.S. Minnesota, a Virginia-class fast-attack submarine, moves in absolute silence. Her mission tonight is not patrol. Her mission is execution. 300 miles to the west, on an abandoned airstrip, the U.S. Army claims doesn't exist, sit 4 Desert Tan launchers, each loaded with a weapon that has never been used in combat until tonight, the long-range hypersonic weapon, codename Dark Eagle, Mach 17, maneuverable, unstoppable. Iran thinks they're about to shut down the Strait of Hormuz forever. They're about to find out the United States never intended to fight a fair fight. 02:13 a.m. The first wave hits. From 11 hardened bunker positions along Iran's coast, the Fatah hypersonic missiles scream Tehran's prized weapon, the one their generals have bragged about for 3 years. Mach 13 in terminal phase, maneuvering re-entry vehicles. Iran calls it the weapon that will end American supremacy in the Gulf. Behind the Fatahs, a swarm. 47 Hebar Shakan ballistic missiles, 22 Haveze cruise missiles skimming just 6 meters above the wave tops, riding ground clutter to defeat radar. This is saturation strategy, Iran's playbook. Throw so many objects into the kill chain that the American defense network mathematically cannot engage them all. But here's what Iranian Central Command doesn't realize. Up at 30,000 feet, the Northrop Grumman E-2D Advanced Hawkeye, circling lazily since sunset, has been tracking every single launch tube for the past 73 minutes. Its API-9 UF radar doesn't just see missiles, it sees intent. It detects the thermal signature of a TEL launcher opening 12 seconds before the missile leaves the tube. On the bridge of the Gerald R. Ford, Rear Admiral Marcus Webb hasn't raised his voice. He simply nods to his tactical action officer and says 4 words. Light them up. Nisif Sise, what happens next has never been done at this scale in human history. 02:17 a.m. 68 SM-6 Block IB missiles erupt from the destroyer's Mk-41 vertical launch cells. They don't need their mothership's radar, they are guided by the E-2D Hawkeye via cooperative engagement capability, the secret sauce of the U.S. Navy, the F-35CS above relay terminal targeting via the multifunction advanced data link. In the high atmosphere, the first Fatah hypersonic warhead meets an M6 closing at a combined velocity of Mach 16. The kinetic energy released is equivalent to a small nuclear detonation. 1 down, 10 to go, but Iran has anticipated this. From the cliffs of Bandar Abbas, the second wave launches. 240 Shahed, 149 attack drones, the upgraded version, the one Iran developed after studying Russian failures in Ukraine. These aren't the dumb kamikaze drones of 2024. They carry K-band jamming pods designed by the RGC's secretive Project 311. Their mission is not to destroy the fleet. Their mission is to blind it. Within 90 seconds, the digital battlefield turns into a fog of white noise. GPS signals collapse. Data links fragment. The Spy 6 radar on the destroyers begins generating ghost contacts, phantom missiles that don't exist, hiding real ones that do. For the first time in 20 years, an American carrier strike group is going electronically blind in hostile waters. And in Tehran, at the RGC command bunker beneath Mount Damavand, the generals begin to cheer. They have no idea what's coming. 02:22 a.m. LTMDR. Sarah Chen's F-35C cockpit goes dark. The distributed aperture system, the helmet that lets her see through the airframe flickers, stutters, then displays an error message no Navy pilot ever wants to see. Nav lost, data link lost. Comms degraded. She is flying at 580 knots, 3 miles above hostile territory, with 18 Iranian missiles still in the air and no way to coordinate with the fleet. Below her, on the Gerald R. Ford, the Combat Information Center has descended into controlled chaos. 3 SM-6s have already missed because their terminal guidance update was jammed mid-flight. A Fatah warhead splashes 800 meters off the carrier's port, bow close enough that hull plating rings from the shockwave. The remaining missiles are 41 seconds out. Iranian state television, broadcasting in real time, declares. Tonight, the Persian Gulf is reclaimed. In Washington, it's 6:22 in the evening. The president is in the Situation Room, watching what looks like the worst day in U.S. naval history since Pearl Harbor. But Admiral Webb is not panicking, because Admiral Webb has been training for this exact scenario for 9 years, and he just keyed his microphone one final time. Phantom strike, execute. 02:24 a.m. 200 miles south, just below the horizon, a formation of 6 aircraft that Iran has never detected ignites their afterburners. These are E-18 Graham Growlers, but not the standard variants. These are Block I Growlers equipped with the next-generation jammer midband, the most advanced electronic attack pod ever built. They haven't been jamming, they've been listening. For the past 40 minutes, they've been recording every Iranian radar pulse, every K-band drone signal, every encrypted URGC data link, and feeding it into something the public has never been told exists. Project Havoc, an AI-driven cyber electromagnetic warfare suite that doesn't just jam enemy systems, it impersonates them. At 2:24:08, the Growlers transmit, not a jamming signal, something far worse. They inject forged command packets directly into Iran's air defense network using Iran's own encryption keys, captured 18 months ago in a classified cyber operation Mossad has never officially admitted to. Suddenly, Iran's Bavar 373 air defense system sees 112 incoming American missiles, none of which are real. The Iranian operators reflexively launch their entire interceptor inventory at ghost targets. In 17 seconds, Iran's air defense umbrella over Bandar Abbas exhausts itself, and then the Dark Eagles arrive. 02:25 a.m. from the abandoned airstrip 300 miles west, 4 long-range hypersonic weapons lift off in sequence. Each weighs nearly 4 tons. Each costs $41 million. Each carries a tungsten rod penetrator capable of destroying a hardened bunker buried 200 feet underground. Mach 5, Mach 8, Mach 12, Mach 17. The Dark Eagle hypersonic glide vehicles separate from their boosters at the edge of space and begin their terminal dive. They maneuver, they jink. They pull 30 grams turns at velocities so extreme the air around them ionizes into pink plasma. No air defense system on planet Earth, not Russian, not Chinese, not Iranian, can intercept this. 02:25:47. The first Dark Eagle slams into the Mount Damavand command bunker at Mach 17. The kinetic energy alone, no warhead required, vaporizes 80 meters of reinforced concrete. The entire URGC Strategic Missile Command, including 3 of Iran's top generals, ceases to exist. 02:25:51, second strike, the Fordow Underground Missile Complex, direct hit on the launch corridor. 02:25:54, third strike, Bandar Abbas Naval Command. The Iranian Navy's central node for straight operations is wiped from the map. 02:25:58, fourth strike, classified target. The Pentagon will never confirm what it was, but 3 hours later, every Iranian fast boat in the Persian Gulf goes silent. Meanwhile, the F-35CS have rebooted. Data links are back. The remaining Iranian missiles, all 11 of them, are dispatched by SM-6s in a 19-second engagement window. The Doomsday weapon Terran spent 20 years building has been neutralized in under 2 elements. So what just happened? Let me break it down. Iron Strategy A2 ad D. Anti-access area denial was supposed to make American carriers obsolete in the Gulf, the theory. Throw enough hypersonic missiles, drones, and electronic warfare at a U.S. fleet, and even the most advanced ships in history become floating coffins. On paper, this works. U.S. military intelligence confirms Iran still retains thousands of short-range ballistic missiles and around 30 active launch pads along the Strait of Hormuz. But Iran made one fatal miscalculation. They prepared for the U.S. Navy of 2015, they didn't prepare for the U.S. Navy of 2026, a force that has spent the last decade quietly weaponizing artificial intelligence, deep cyber electromagnetic operations, and a new generation of hypersonic weapons. The Dark Eagle missile, officially the long-range hypersonic weapon, would mark the first deployment of a U.S. hypersonic weapon, giving the president new options to deliver a decisive blow amid the standoff over the Strait of Hormuz. Its speed sharply reduces warning time, limiting the ability of mobile launcher units to disperse or conceal themselves after detection. Combined with Project Havoc's ability to digitally hijack enemy air defenses, the Dark Eagle doesn't just penetrate. It arrives at a target that has been engineered to be helpless. This is not warfare anymore. This is algorithmic dominance, and it's only the beginning. But here's the question that's keeping Pentagon planners awake at night. If the United States can do this to Iran, what happens when China deploys their own version of Havoc over Taiwan? What happens when Russia perfects their Avangard glide vehicle and starts probing NATO airspace? The era of network-centric warfare just ended. The era of cognitive warfare just began. In our next video, we're going inside the most terrifying secret weapon the U.S. military has never admitted exists, and the reason Beijing is now reportedly considering a complete restructure of its entire air defense doctrine. If you want to see it the moment it drops, smash that subscribe button and ring the bell. Drop a comment below. Did Iran have done anything differently tonight? Or was this fight over the moment Dark Eagle was authorized?